Good morning, everyone. We're live from the Money Man Art Talk with Susana Baker. Art Talk with Susana Baker comes in every single Friday, bringing you all the news and cultural happenings in South Florida, from the red carpet to the canvas. And so it's been raining outside, so it's a great time to go visit your cultural institutions, your museums, your galleries. This is a great time to discover what's happening and what's coming soon prior to art season, when, you know, be wall of people and Art Basel and hundreds of thousands of visitors. But we want to welcome this morning on Art Talk with Susana Baker, Monique Lassooij. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, we love you, Monique. You know, Miami has totally embraced you. You have been in the art scene for quite a while. When did you get into Miami and why? That's one of my favorite questions.
Okay. I came to Miami because of a wonderful Italian guy nicknamed the Hitman.
The Hitman.
Yes. And he persuaded me to stay here. And after 5 years traveling back and forth, in 2006, I said, okay, that's it.
2006.
Yeah.
Now, I came into the art scene in 2009 with a good old recession, and I had seen so many thousands of people at an art walk. And I realized back then, wow, they didn't even tap into the tourist, something I've been doing for 25 years, working with tourism. And so I quickly discovered my calling, which is the art experience. And soon, you know, starting with these tours called Dine, Design, Explore the Arts, which we still do, after a couple of years, I was able to work with several artists, and you have always been one of those artists in my roster. You give a lot to the community. We work together a program called Murals for Morale.
Yes.
And you have been fabulous. The kids love you. Now, you have an iconic image, just like your name, Monique Lassooij. Your art pieces are just as unique and not to be seen. You know, when you walk into, and I have to honestly tell you this, Monique, your art is fabulous. It's so different. Like, you know, there's so many talented people, and there's thousands and thousands, and especially since Miami is the art happening place, especially now with the season coming, you meet people globally all over the world, and everyone's talented, and you can always catch a reference, whether it's geometric abstraction, whether it's figurative, whether it's hyper-realism. I mean, each one is unique and wonderful, don't get me wrong, but you have something super unique. I haven't seen it copied. Maybe a little bit reference to the big eyes from the artist. I'm getting, oh my God, there was a movie on Big Eyes.
I know.
I'm totally.
And I only knew about her after I saw the movie. Honestly,
you saw the movie, and it's an interesting story, and I'm killing myself that I can't remember right now.
You and me.
But you have a wonderful expression in your you know, in your paintings.
The expression.
Can you explain it to me a little bit? Tell my audience.
The expression is based on how people look up from their cell phones. Practically, you know, you have people just looking on the cell phones, you call them, and they look up under the eyebrows. And there's this split second where they haven't decided if they will give you the full attention or if you're not worth it. And that's basically where that expression is coming from. And over the years, it has developed, you know, with more depth, because before people said it looked like zombies, and it scared people. And I didn't want that. But at the same time, I was going like, but look around you, because everybody's looking at you like that.
Right.
And
I had heard, you know, my daughter at one time had said, oh, they're kind of sad. But they're not really sad.
No.
They really evoke a dialogue to really go and see what it is. What is that child or that person, that figurative painting that you're doing, is it sad? Is it startled? Is it confused? Is it going through a stage? And so, you know, Walter Keane was the one who took over his wife's painting, Amy Adams, and big eyes. And he made believe it because, women back then were not at all equal. And even today in art sales, it's still...
I would say it's a little bit today as well.
Yeah, it's sad to say that still things are going the way they are, but we're not going to get into politics, that's for sure. But I've been doing that for two days straight.
You never know.
This confirmation is getting to me with the Supreme Court. But now back to the arts and art talk. So now we have your beautiful eyes. They're not... I only reference big eyes, but they're not the same. They're different.
Big eyes, she had enormous eyes, and then the rest of the face was very much, compressed, very small.
Sort of like cat.
And I don't want to do that. I want real faces. I just make the eyes bigger and rounder to focus on that, whereas I put the rest of the face in very natural proportions.
Right. And you also have something super unique that you tend to use the same color palette, which is the black color theories of gray.
No black.
No.
Two grays.
Two grays and a red.
And a white.
And
I do deviate with the red. Because I also used orange, I have used blue, and I tend to put more color in now, but the children stay gray.
Why do the children stay gray?
Because I didn't want to have a color recognition. So people are judged by the tone of their skin. And I didn't want that. So every portrait for me is gray.
I love that.
And whatever color you see in it, that's up to you.
So the diversity is built by the beauty is held by the eyes, right?
Yeah.
By the beholder.
Yeah.
And so they are the ones that then take this gray spectrum of color and they add their selves into it as a child or their niece or their grandchild. Or in my case,
a lot that people recognize a family member.
Yeah.
And because of an expression, because of the way they look. And when they show me pictures, sometimes it's really uncanny, I'll go like, wow.
You know what I love also is that you do series of works, and your series of works sometimes are on master artists, Frida Kahlo, and you have the wonderful Velázquez that you did for Murals for Morale that the private collector of the owner of the Hispanicized bought, which is Velázquez on a stick, which is actually you're repainting what the Velázquez piece, and you put her holding a selfie stick, and I thought that's hysterical. You have humor. A lot of, you got to catch it, but there's humor in your pieces. And you always tend to also put animals, like a small little teddy bear or a little porcupine or something, in the
teddy
piece.
bear is really special. That's really personal. And for the ones who have a painting with a teddy bear, you have a painting of the Hitman.
Really? He's a teddy bear?
He's the teddy bear.
Oh, wow. Now I got to get another Monique Lassooij. I already have two. Actually, I bought one, 4 years ago, and I saw myself in it, but then I saw my daughter.
Yes.
And so that's in her room. I love it. She loves it. And then I have... what else do I have? Well, I'm holding the Frida Kahlo for Manny Ruiz. But that's
hint.
Hint. If not, I'm going to have another. But I love it. My daughter loves it. And you are fabulous because, when you come to, this is an artist, and I'm telling you, to all my fans at 880 The Biz, those listening to me, Monique Lassooij is an amazing artist, is someone you should look up and actually collect her work because, today's artists that are here in Miami working and being collected and commissioned, those are tomorrow's Herrings and Picassos and Warhols. And I have been so fortunate to follow the careers and the paths of some of these artists, and Monique is someone to definitely look out for. Now, you are showing currently at the Sagamore Hotel for their salon show.
Yes, I have 5 pieces that are all based on masterpieces. So I have another Velázquez there. I have a Goya, Da Vinci. I have Rembrandt, The Anatomical Lesson. That's actually the first painting where you can see a teddy bear. And that was, and it's really a funny story. I originally wanted, instead of the dead body that's in the original painting, I wanted to do a girl on the table with all these boys around her.
Uh-huh.
And the hitman said, that's not a great idea. Now, I don't like when he says stuff like that to me.
Right.
So as a revenge, I put him on the slab, and his fluff is taken out.
Oh, by her?
No, by one of the boys, the young tulip. He was practicing on the teddy bear, and that was my little revenge.
Oh, that is too
and
funny.
he's hearing it now.
And he's probably going to wonder next time when he gives an opinion. We don't want to decapitate a teddy bear, so don't let the opinion be too strong, Hitman, if you're listening to me. We love you, Hitman. I have to tell you, so now you're working on a show that's curated by Miguel Rodez.
Yes.
He's very, he's a real advocate for the Bird Road art walk that happens once a month. And that Bird Road Art District, is it the third Fridays? The third, isn't it the third?
No, it's on Saturdays, but I don't think they have it
anymore,
right now.
Right now, till the season, art season probably.
I think that they will start it again. I'm not sure, but he is very, he always has these great ideas, and this time he had an idea of combining books and art. So the show that opens tomorrow at FIU Green Library.
And which campus in FIU? South or north?
That is Doral campus, I think.
The Doral campus.
Yeah, if they Google FIU Green Library, it will pop up.
Okay. And so tell us a little bit about the show there.
It's called Reference Cited, and it's all about, as I said before, art and books. So each artist made a painting based on a book, or selected a book based on the painting that they wanted to put into the show. So the reference is really the artist's reference. But to make things worse, Miguel said to us, the book has to be at FIU Library.
Oh, wow. And so that is the FIU Green Library is at Southwest 8th Street and 110th Avenue. So that is, so 110th Avenue and Southwest 8th Street. So tomorrow the show begins from 3 to 6 o'clock is the opening reception.
Yes.
And so this show it's a group show of artists. Anybody that we, there's any of the local roster that we work with all the time?
It's, Mano, he's in there too. We have artists from the South, Miami, from Broward.
Oh, awesome.
So, it's
really
all
they pick a book and based on the book they reference a painting.
Yes.
Now I saw a painting that you send me, and you call it The Letter. It's beautiful. It's a girl with 3 boys, and again with the same color palettes of the grays and the red and the white. And what was the book you picked that referenced The Letter?
It's How to Write and Publish a Scientific Paper.
Okay. All right. Now, what made you pick that book and then get the painting you got? Because the painting you got is fabulous. I mean, I couldn't see anything. Now, your mind does run differently than most people.
Yes.
So
slightly.
tell me what that title, how did you create this painting, The Letter?
Well, I already started that painting, and it was like, this show came up and it made it perfect. I always wanted to do something that is about sharing. So the letter is really, you see these kids, there's a teddy bear, and there's one that's holding a letter, and we don't know what's in the letter. We don't know who it's from. That's all what the viewer can, put in there as well. You don't know if it's serious or funny, because there's all sorts of things going on in that painting.
It could be a scientific research
could be.
Among all the kids.
You don't know.
Right?
So, and I wanted to reflect that with something that is really about sharing, and that is science. Because if you don't share your research or your theory or your work, science doesn't mean anything. There's no progress. So it's really about sharing for me, and progress and information. And basically that's a letter as well. So that's why I wanted to combine those two. And I chose this book specifically because it's about how to write it, how to share, to learn how to share that kind of information.
Wow. I have to tell you something. Talking about sharing, you're one of the most sharing human beings. You have been so impactful to my kids. I do a program called Murals for Morale. I do it about 4 times a year at special venues and major events that come in town. I do it at Hispanicize, which brings in over 2,000 bloggers and journalists and from the industry of music and journalism and film, as well as art, which is what I do. And this year I was very fortunate to get 3 schools. I normally bring each day a different school, and the kids come from the art departments and they get to work with you, Monique. And we had Aquarela, which is a fabulous artist, also Elazar Delgado, another fabulous artist, and Louis Valle. And so these kids got to work with these iconic, artists that do fine arts, do street art, and they combine with their own iconic look, and they work the day with them, and then they get to see the work progress, as well as the people that attend the show. They get to see it, and then they get to bid on it. So the guest attendings, the art is done by the artists like you with a group of kids, and then at the end of the show it goes on a silent bid, and people get to bid on it in a sheet, and they get to gain a beautiful piece at a fraction of a cost than from a gallery, and all that money goes to an art program, an inner city undeserved school. And so you've helped me. I'm doing this now for, I think, my 5th year. You've been with me at least 3 of them of those 5 years, maybe 4. And we've made some money for Northwestern High School, for Aspira, which is also undeserved school. And we've created funds for Aspira. And so the teachers of these art programs are so happy. But to see the kids, this year I was fortunate to bring Parkland, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas kids. And it was shortly after February 14th. This was April, not even a month later. And it was so rewarding to me to see these kids work with you on the art piece, and their excitement, and as they continue throughout the whole fair, how they enjoyed everything. And at one point someone dropped a plate and these kids jumped so far up, the fear. And it's really sad, but we love Murals for Morale, and we love to bring this platform to these events and empower these kids. And I have to thank you sincerely for helping me bring joy to these children and to create funds and raise the funds that maybe $2,000 is not a lot, but for an inner city school, it is.
It is.
And they are so
grateful.
grateful.
I have so much fun doing it. It's really funny because the first time you asked me, I was looking at you like, why would you leave me alone with kids? Seriously. And
sometimes you have a potty mouth. That's true.
Yeah, big time.
But I'm proud of you. You've done great. 3 years in a row, the kids love you. They really do. And, the great thing is that I can always count on your piece being one of the first to be sold. And you've been so generous that actually you've asked for a second canvas, because you've done 2 pieces at the show and you sold 2 pieces at the silent auction, and you created double the funds for the school. And that's something like really warms my heart. And I thank you, Monique Lassooij, for that. Now,
you're very
in
welcome.
the show, FIU Reference Cited, that's the show. It's a group show, FIU Reference Cited, curated by Miguel Rodez, and it's going to be at the campus on Southwest 8th Street. It opens tomorrow from 3 to 6. Now, you're having one piece there.
Yes.
And it's for sale.
No, it's hanging there. I think it's for sale, but we didn't discuss price.
Okay. Because that's something I would tell everybody to go out there and buy this, Monique, because it is an investment. I know how through the years how you're commissioned and collected. And this is the time to buy pieces and support local artists that really give their all. And it's a fraction of the cost, really.
I know, but you know what? It's also a hard time. People are, feeling everything in their wallet. I get that.
Yeah.
At the same time,
Christmas is around the corner. What do you mean? Christmas, Thanksgiving, a great
everything
piece
is
of
around
art.
the corner. Come on.
Yeah.
There's always a birthday.
There's always a birthday, and there's always an anniversary, and there's always a reason that we could not spend money and save, or not even save.
Well,
This
you
is
know
something
what?
that stays in you.
When you talk about buying art, and I'm not talking about investment pieces, but I'm
Right.
just buying art for your home, for your office. You just see something that you love, and even if it would squeeze you, as many artists will work with you. You have to have a payment plan. Don't make it a big thing. Just if you love the piece, get it.
And talk
it's
to
for
the
your
artist
life.
sometimes. You could
Yeah.
talk to an artist and you could work a payment plan maybe. I'm not sure. I'm
Sure.
not, but I got to tell you, I've had some ups and downs in the last 2 years, taking care of my father with Alzheimer and different situations that happen. Life does happen. I got to tell you, my art pieces keep an inner feeling of joy and peace as I walk up and down the stairs or into my dining room or living room. Every single piece talks to me. It has a message, it has a story, and it really keeps me company. My kids constantly say, Mom, I have one more at home. Soon in 2 years, she leaves the nest. And what am I going to do with this huge home? But I got to tell you, I love the art. I love my Monique Lassooij. How can people find out more about you?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook.
Can you spell your name? Because it's not going to be easy.
So my Instagram is MOLASSOOIJ. Basically, when you go on Facebook, it's Monique Lassooij or Monique Lassooij Art. The Monique Lassooij Art is my business page on Facebook.
And you could go to ArtTalk, Facebook, ArtTalk with Susana Baker, and you'll see Monique Lassooij's. I'll be posting her Facebook page and her Instagram page, and also this video, so you could see it more in depth. And we'll add some of her pictures and edit some of the pictures into the video. But you could go to ArtTalk with Susana Baker and like us. Also, you could go to YouTube and subscribe us, Art Scene with Susana Baker. We come every single Friday. For this weekend, whether rain or shine, go to Reference Cited at FIU, support our local artists, support FIU, which is an amazing university. And also Miguel Rodez, who's the curator. He is an advocate for the arts, always empowering, always thinking beyond the box. Monique, you have been fabulous, always
Thank
are.
you.
We look forward to you for Hispanicize again, Murals for Morale.
I'm
and
there.
actually, we did Murals for Morale for Legal Services.
Yes.
And you did that little Batman boy, Bat Boy.
Yeah.
And that sold quickly. So again, I'll be posting Art Talk with Susana Baker on Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe to us. Also, 880 The Biz. You could download us anytime through the app. It's a free app for Apple and Android, 880 The Biz. And we'll see you next Friday. We'll be coming live next Friday to you. And also, the art scene is starting up. And if you want to catch some of these great artists and see some of these galleries that we talk about, my real bread and butter is the art experience. It's an art tour. So you can look us up at www.theartexperiences.com. Say you came from 880 The Biz, and we'll give you 50% off for being a listener and a fan of 880 The Biz. It's a Wall Street Business Network. Again, Art Talk with Susana Baker is sponsored, and we're grateful to the Money Man, Alicia Frischberg, and Dan Frischberg. They're amazing people. We just came off the Home and Design Show live, and we'll be doing a lot more of those live platforms, bringing you all the art from the red carpet to the canvas. Art Talk with Susana Baker. See you next Friday. And Eve and Chris, a shout out to my cousins that are visiting from New York.